Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon to some of you. We'll go ahead and get started. Thank you for joining us today for the first Lunch and Learn of the season. Today we're going to have Claudia St. John, and the subject is workplace strategies to support women. Just to give you guys a little bit about the Women of Flexo, our mission and vision for the Women of Flexo is comprised of industry members who work to support and promote women in the flexographic industry through a variety of opportunities. You can visit us, and you'll hear this a few times today, at www.womenofflexo to learn more information. We comprise of 4 committees: leadership development, recruitment and engagement, marketing and strategy, and mentorship. Each committee brings some wonderful backgrounds and expertise to the table. Leadership development, and we empower women in the flexographic industry by fostering professional development, celebrating female leaders, and advocating for women in leadership. Our recruitment and engagement committee actively engage with women in the flexographic industry to network, empower recruitment, and reinforce retention. Marketing and strategy increase awareness of the group and defining its long and short-term goals, while mentorship develops relationships between members new to the industry and those with experience. Again, if you want to find out more about the Women of Flexo, you can visit www.womenofflexo.org. You can email us for each committee. We have an email there, and you can reach out to us. And you can also follow the LinkedIn page. We also have this little code over here if you would like to become a sponsor of the Women of Flexo. Women of Flexo launches the first annual sponsorship packages, and there's different tiers. And then you can also volunteer and sponsor the smaller packages below. You can just link to that QR code there, and it'll give you the information. Or you can reach out by email to one of the emails on the previous slide. Without further ado, I would like to introduce our speaker today, Claudia St. John. She is a keynote speaker, best-selling author, and the founder and CEO of the Workplace Advisors, a leading HR consulting, recruiting, and training firm specializing in equipping businesses with the consulting support and people skills they need to grow. She is a senior professional in HR, senior certified professional, and certified professional behavioral analyst who empowers organizations with evidence-backed insights so they can navigate the evolving landscape of talent acquisition, engagement, and retention with the confidence and foresight. Known as the Workplace Advisor, and she helps organizations zoom out, shift their mindset, and build businesses that lead their industry. Please help me welcome Claudia St. John.
Thank you so much, Brandy. I appreciate it. And Brandy and Jenny, I'm just delighted to be here with you and all of the Women of Flexo. So delighted to be invited as part of this Lunch and Learn. We've got 30 minutes together. What I hope to do is give a little bit of background, give a little sort of high-level overview of some of the challenges that we see within the workplace that women face uniquely as women in the workplace. But also I do a lot of work within the print space. So I know this space very, very well, and I'm just delighted to be a part of this webinar. So thank you so much for that. I lost my mouse. So what I hope to do is really just have an engaging conversation. I understand on this platform you have all found the comment section, and in making introductions yourselves to each other, please feel free to use that. I would love to share some of your experiences. I know that Jenny and Brandy will help me navigate some of those conversations and topics as they come up, and I encourage anyone that's here today, as I'm going through this, just share any thoughts that you have, any questions. So I really want to make this as interactive, 30 minutes as possible, and hopefully leave you with some resources and opportunities going forward. So without further ado, I want to talk about where we are right now in time and space. So how do we find ourselves in this position? And historically, we are at incredibly high levels of stress and anxiety and conflict. Actually, for the first time ever that I remember, SHRM, which is my professional association, had an entire report that they put out last year on how to navigate conflict in the workplace, which is that it's come to this topic of incivility is really very upsetting. But we are at historically relevant times. In fact, 44% of employees report having a lot of stress at work. 51% of employees said that they're actively looking for a new job. This is on top of the fact that we had the Great Resignation back in 2022, 2023, during which time almost 40% of the entire workplace quit their jobs, which is mind-boggling if you think about it. But we had about 52 million people switch jobs during the Great Resignation. So to be here just a couple of years later and have a majority of people saying that they're actively looking for a new job, and 59% saying that they're quiet quitting. This means that 59% of employees right now are working, but they're not working very hard and they're not excited about what they're doing. We're actually at a moment right now, what's called a frozen labor market. And it's because of so much uncertainty in the marketplace, in the economy, that businesses have sort of held off on hiring some key talent. So they've slowed down their hiring activities, and a lot of employees have slowed down their looking for new job activities. So everybody seems a little bit frozen in space right now, frozen where they are. So 59% are actually, they've quit, they just haven't told you. But 18% are actually going out and looking for new jobs. They are literally quitting their jobs and out there. Sadly, we also know that about 2.1 hours of every work week is spent in conflict in the United States. So we're all dealing with a lot more conflict than we have in times past. We also see that 57% of employees have witnessed or endured some kind of conflict that resulted in injury or in some form of insult, which is staggering. And this one's even more staggering, that 2/3 or 3/4 of employees feel that their own supervisors and managers are not equipped to deal with this conflict. And we can feel it, right? I mean, when you're going to the grocery store, when you're in civil conversation, we're feeling this conflict. And for women, it's particularly difficult. Women actually face even more stress than their male counterparts. What we know is that women are, half of women surveyed report higher levels of stress than they did last year. This is higher than their male counterparts. 51% said that they felt stressed out much of the day, compared to 39% of men. Sadly, 42% of women have said that their job actually contributed significantly to declines in their own mental health, much more so than their male counterparts. And only 37% of women felt that they were really capable of switching it off after work. So women are facing more challenges, more stress at work, and are having a harder time turning it off. Some of the unique challenges that women face, obviously, are that caregiving responsibility, whether that's for their children or for their parents, and the responsibilities of the home still increasingly fall on women. So making sure that not only they're the people that they're caregiving, but also just the overall function of the home environment, of the home setting, falls predominantly on women. They still face financial and recognition gaps at work. We still are not on parity in terms of pay. We still are not on parity in terms of recognition for the work that we contribute in general across the United States. There's also a lack of flexibility and support for women who are dealing with these additional challenges. And one thing that's a concern since the beginning of 2025, there's been this sort of uncertainty that's because of sort of economic uncertainty, whether it be trade or wherever your business is. That uncertainty is causing a lot of business actually to go back to those times of lack of flexibility. So we're going to use this as a time to bring everybody back into the office, to create more standards and systems around people. So that flexibility that people were able to enjoy as a result of COVID, the one good outcome of COVID for many women in the workplace, we see that being scaled back. There also are physical and mental health challenges that women are facing, and also, and let's not fluff over this. This is a male-dominated industry. There still are men in most of the positions of power and authority, and it still is a predominantly male-dominated industry. That in itself creates challenges for women as they look for mentorship, as they look for opportunities to grow, as they look for peer networks, as they just face different challenges because of the multitude of responsibilities that they're carrying. These are things that maybe we don't even, as women, we don't even mention regularly in the workplace, yet they are challenges. We're carrying different responsibilities and different hats. All of this falls on our shoulders. And the impact that it has is on our mental health. It is a brain issue. Now, our stress levels, we have parts of our brain that are responsible for our levels of stress. It was designed when we were first evolving as a species. Stress was a way of flooding our body with adrenaline and epinephrine and histamines and cortisol so that we could run fast or freeze effectively so we didn't get eaten by a dinosaur, right? Our stress reactions are designed to keep us safe in unsafe environments. That's how, as a species, we evolved. And yet now we're enduring these levels of stress on an ongoing basis that it doesn't end. And as a species, we were not designed to be this way. And so we're all now trying to learn, how do we manage and mitigate this stress? Because it's when you are constantly under stress, these hormones that are responsible for your stress response can lead to long-term real health consequences around your heart health, your brain health, your energy, your ability to fight off disease. So what is a mental health challenge turns into a physical health challenge, because as a species, we're not designed to carry all of this stress. So one of the resources that I think a lot of employers have an opportunity, and we as individuals have an opportunity to learn, is what is emotional intelligence and why do we care? We care about emotional intelligence because while we're evolving with all of these stress hormones in our bodies and in our systems, we don't think well. We can't collaborate well. We end up in conflict because we're primed for fight, flight, or freeze when we're in stress environments. And to be very clear, emotional intelligence is not about not having emotions. We all have emotions. We're supposed to have emotions. Emotional intelligence is how quickly can you recognize that you are in an emotional state, and how quickly can you deploy effectively the coping strategies to help us clear our red, to help us say, all right, why am I feeling stressed out? Oh, okay. I'm feeling stressed out because of the situation. It's not that big of a deal. I'm going to breathe deeply and I'm going to move on. Those are techniques that literally anybody can learn and develop. Our ability to manage our stress are available to all of us. So the first thing I want to convey to you all is your mental health and your ability to first and foremost recognize that you have stress is so helpful, because then you can start learning and absorbing and processing techniques to process your stress that will help your improvement, that will help your well-being, that will help your physicality. It will help everything. So step number one, please look at yourself under stress and what you can do to help clear your red. Nobody's saying don't have emotions. You have emotions. You should have emotions. It's just how quickly you can process them. Now, one of the challenges I know I have, I think women share uniquely, is that we are constantly telling ourselves a story. We're telling ourselves a story about ourselves. Are we good enough? Are we thin enough? Are we pretty enough? Are we smart enough? Are we ambitious enough? Are we kind enough? Are we enough? And also what other people are thinking about us. They don't like us. They don't care about us. They're not there to take care of us. They're not supportive. So we have all of these stories that are going on in our head that are saboteurs. We're sabotaging ourselves. Because the bottom line is our inner dialogue is a jerk by and large. The stories we tell ourselves are horrendous. We wouldn't tell our children that, or we shouldn't tell our children the things that we tell ourselves in our internal dialogue, and yet we do it to ourselves all the time. And the flip side of it is also we are telling ourselves stories that we're not good enough, that people don't like us enough, that we're not smart enough, that we're not deserving, that we're imposters. That's my favorite one, imposter syndrome. I gobble that up all day long. When in fact it's not true. All of the behavioral science tell us that people actually like us more than we think that they do. That people actually trust us more than we think that they do. That people who hurt us usually almost never intend to harm us. Their actions might harm us, but their intention was never to harm us. And yet we tell ourselves this story, this negative story that feeds into our negative dialogue. And all of this is oftentimes happening without our recognition. So the first thing I would ask of you all is to listen to what you're saying to yourself about yourself and stop it. Like, treat yourself like you would the child that you love within, or your best friend, or your sibling, something that you absolutely love. You want to be telling yourself the things that you would tell those people that you care about in your love. And for the people that are around you, just assume the best. Assume that they don't mean to harm you. And you can, if they do, you can say, did you intend to harm me in that way? Because I'm telling myself a story that you didn't intend that. Did you intend that? Because we all of us, if I could see you all, we all want to be judged by our intentions, not by our actions. And yet we are all judged by our actions because we can't know your intentions. They're known only to you. So assume that people didn't intend to harm you, despite whether they did or not. Assume the best, just as you want others to assume the best about you, and inspect your self-talk. If you hear yourself saying something unkind to yourself, just stop. Stop being unkind to yourself and stop judging others. Give people the benefit of the doubt. A little of this in this time, in this moment of just profound stress and conflict, a little bit of kindness goes a really long way. And we can do this for ourselves. We can be kind to ourselves, and we can be a little kinder to each other. There's no harm in it. So I want to leave you with just a few things. What you can do for yourself. The first is, there's a great book called Atomic Habits. I have just read it again for the first time. And the premise of this book, and I wish I had it on me. I don't see it on my desk. But Atomic Habits essentially is that little changes, tiny, tiny little changes can have a big impact. Tiny, tiny little changes can have an atomic impact. It's the play on words. The atomic habits are tiny but have big impact. And the first atomic habit you can create for yourself is to start being kind to yourself. Let's start listening to your inner dialogue and start being kind to yourself. The second is practice clearing your own red. Because you know what? When we get triggered and we're really angry, those hormones that flood our system, epinephrine, cortisol, adrenaline, histamines, they stay in our system for 8 hours. So if somebody truly pisses you off at work and you can't get past it, you take that little concoction of hormonal hell with you to the grocery store, on the road when you're driving, to your kids who haven't done their homework or cleaned up their room, or your husband or your parents or whoever you are in your relationship with, and you're unloading on them. And that doesn't help anybody. So practice recognizing when you're in an emotional state and doing some of the things to clear that red. The easiest one of all is to breathe deeply. And that works because it calms our vagus nerve. I don't even know what that is, but it's our entire nervous system. And it also helps you and your body purge some of the hormones out of your bloodstream. It is the most effective thing you can do. Listen to your self-talk about yourself and about others. And if you're being a jerk to yourself, throw up that stop sign. Just stop. Say something nice to yourself. Say something kind to yourself, just as you would say something kind to somebody you love. This all gets to self-love. The other is mindfulness is to assume the best. Sorry, I'm got all lost in my slide deck. Assume the best. It doesn't hurt. I'm not asking you to be a sucker and to take it from people who don't deserve your grace and your kindness and your compassion. But a little bit of assuming positive interest and positive attention and positive intention will go a long way. Just as we would wish that somebody would be to assume the best about us. You know, this gets back to that golden rule. Spend some time being mindful and grateful. You know, wake up early, meditate, journal, exercise more, drink more tea, you know, get better rest. All of these are great things to do. And you know what? I always feel like I'm failing because I don't do any of those things enough. Being mindful is a great thing to be. And I am mindful and I live in a state of mindfulness. But being mindful and grateful can almost sound like I'm failing before I've even started. So yes, being mindful and grateful is wonderful. If you practice yoga, that's amazing. Keep doing it. If you're good at meditating, that's amazing. Keep doing it. But if you're not, just be kind to yourself. There's so many pressures on ourselves to be perfect and to be amazing. It's a problem that women face. Let's not add being gracious and mindful and grateful on top of it. Just be kind to yourself and just rest. You know, give ourselves a break. Start with tiny little things. You don't have to all of a sudden be like the most Zen person out there living in a state of gratitude. Just try to be nice to yourself. That's a good little habit to change. There's so many pressures on us. Don't add to them. What businesses can do, they can create an environment where there's a supportive culture, where there's listening, where the unique challenges of women can be appreciated. Promote mental health resources, not only for employees, but also for their families. Women face the responsibility not only for their own selves, but for their entire families. And children are really, really struggling. The third is to promote a work-life balance initiative. There's no such thing as work-life balance. We're going to feel like we're terrible both. We all know this. It's a fallacy. But to create the flexibility and the benefits, the creative benefits that can help women navigate their family responsibilities and their work responsibilities effectively. And one of the best things that I think businesses can do is to create an incentive for women to join the Women of Flex. So you have a peer network of women who bring people like me on here to say you're not alone, to say you're here, to say you're part of a network. This is a wonderful organization and opportunity for you to create the kinds of relationships to support each other and to lift each other. That's what this is about. How exciting that you even have this. So I want to set it kudos to all of you who are here on this call. Kudos to Women of Flexo for creating this. And I want to leave you with one more thing before I open it up to have conversation with you all. And this is my Reiki prayer. I'm a Reiki master. I was taught this. It's a prayer that has gotten me through the darkest of days, all of my dark days. And the Reiki prayer goes like this. Just for today, I will not worry. Just for today, I won't be angry. Just for today, I'll be grateful for all of my blessings. Just for today, I will work honestly. And just for today, I will be kind to every living thing, including myself. So that is my gift to you. I love the Reiki prayer. And you know what? The crazy thing about it is just for today, I can do this. I can do this just for today. So that is all that I have to share. And I would love to throw it open to Jenny and to Brandy and any questions or comments that folks have. Oh, Atomic Habits. There you go. Yay. Such a great book, and such a simple, I love it because I feel like we can just, in the effort to be more mindful, we can still feel like we're not enough. Like there's never a capacity where we can't think that we're failing. And just doing a little bit at a time. I hope.
I'm going to call out some of the comments that everybody has been sending in. Rachel said Atomic Habits, good book. So she's read it as well. Alyssa, deep breathing is the easiest way to calm down, hands down. Count to 3 as you inhale through your nose, hold for 3 seconds, and then blow it out through your mouth. On a count of 3, she uses this as a gymnastic coach, and they are now promoting this within their friends and siblings. So that's a great one.
Awesome.
Carrie agrees overuse of the idea of work-life balance. Balance is different than anyone else. Everybody's is individual.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you as an individual have to find out what works for you.
Yeah. And I think the opportunity then if you recognize that everybody else is this individual, then it all requires important conversations. How can I help you? How can we support this?
A couple other people that they do the breathing exercises. Angela, breathing techniques daily. And she's also a girls soccer coach. She practices yoga, so understands the effectiveness of that. And Jenny, I'll let you read your own comment.
Oh, no, I agree. The breathing is amazing, especially when you're getting ready to speak. You get those stomach jitters, whatever. I mean, it just definitely calms you down, which is awesome. So,
and what that's doing is that is clearing your red. You've got those hormones. And when you feel those butterflies in your stomach, that's a physiological reaction to stress. You are actually feeling your hormones at work, creating that stress. So the breathing actually clears that stress. You're clearing your red. That in itself is the holy grail of emotional intelligence, right? You've done it. You recognizing those physiological triggers.
Yeah, I don't know if emotional intelligence is something new, but I've been hearing a lot more about it lately. I don't know if it's because of where we're at in our world, political, whatever, but it's like it's definitely something that's on my radar to learn more about as well. Atomic Habits, and actually to get that book as well too. But yeah, a lot of good stuff. And I feel like this whole presentation, Claudia, has been such a go get them, girls. You're great. You're doing great. Just keep being great.
Exactly. You're killing it. You don't even recognize that you're killing it because there's always like, yeah, but I didn't do that one other thing. Celebrate what you did. You've already gotten here. Like we do this, especially. I don't think there's a level of professionalism where we don't feel like we're not enough. And you know what? You're enough. You're definitely enough. I love affirmations. That's wonderful. And do I diet well enough? No. Do I drink too much wine? Yes. Am I getting better, get great sleep habits? No, they're terrible. Am I trying to be better at it? Yes, I am. Like, just can we just give each other, can we just take a break and say, we're killing it. We're doing a great job. And I want to commend the women of Flexo for having this, for inviting me here. Like, this is
So much.
this is a wonderful thing. And I think there's not a person out there that doesn't feel like they have work to do. And the other thing I will share is that all this stuff, navigating conflict, emotional intelligence, all this, it can all be learned. So even if you're a beginner, we all were at one point in time as well. Very few of us popped into this world with all of these tools in our toolkit. So
I heard something the other day that has resonated with me ever since, and it's leave something a little better than you found it. So no matter what, show someone some grace today, and then, make one compliment to one person, or pick up a piece of trash, or, help someone out every day.
Yes, I love that. I love that. And my compliment is to all of you for sitting through this and for trying to make your own lives and the lives of the people around you a little bit better. I think that's a great use of time. Yeah, high fives all around. I think that's great.
With that being said, Claudia, thank you so much for jumping on the call today and giving us a great pick-me-up, go-getter during our lunchtime today. So we really appreciate your time and efforts.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. And I hope you all do well. And I hope you have, just for today, I just hope you have the most amazing day you can have.
One more topic. If you have any feedback, there's a survey in the chat area. If you could fill that out, if it's something you guys want to hear about, what you want to do for Lunch and Learn, please let us know. We'll be glad to help out as much as we can. So,
excellent.
And then this will be reposted?
I believe so, yes.
So you guys can go back, and if anybody didn't have time at the beginning to catch any of the emails or the QR code or anything like that, and would still like that, if you put that in the chat, we can make sure that you get it.
Yeah, great.
Excellent.
All right, thanks again, Claudia.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Take care. Thanks.